Hello everybody, this is PwngoreStormfiend, and this is the first video I've done in a while. Uh, I've been really busy and just haven't been able to take the time to do videos, mostly. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses though. Anyways, this is going to be a first look at Xerath. His remake just went live, and I figure, you know what, I should jump into a custom game just to give you my first impressions on it. I guess take a moment to reflect back on Xerath from Xerath first. I didn't think he was necessarily in need of a remake. I think they needed to rework his kit a bit just to give him more damage outside of his ultimate. Because the biggest problem with Xerath was the fact that if you didn't have your ultimate up, you didn't do damage. But as soon as you had it up, you had really decent burst. So I think they just needed to look at his kit. I didn't think he required this full remake. I will say I didn't like his kit before. I think his kit was a little weird, but anyways, let's discuss his new ability. So they changed his passive. His old passive used to give you armor based on a percent of your AP. The new one is Mana Surge, and every 12 seconds, Xerath's next basic attack against a minion or monster restores 30 mana, or it does double against a champion. Now this scales per level, so it's fairly decent. I think it's a little weak compared to some other passives, but I don't think it's bad. Next we have his Q. Now what his Q is its Arcano Pulse. The first cast, Xerath charges Arcano Pulse, gradually decreasing his movement speed while increasing the spell's range. The second cast, Xerath actually fires it, and it does magic damage to all enemies in a line. While charging it, you cannot attack or cast other spells, but you can still move. If you do not cast it, then you get half the mana back. It's kind of like Varus's Q. So yeah, you'll see here. Yeah, it's like just like Varus's Q, basically. It's pretty neat, actually. I like the way they did this. I like not having to rely on the W to get the range now. I also like that you don't have to sit still to actually cast it. That was definitely something I will say I didn't like about the old Xerath. Was that your Q was very easily dodgeable and also punished you. Because you had to sit still to cast it at long range. You also don't have to cast it at long range like you've seen there. You can shortchange it. Alright, so next we got our W. Our W is Eye of Destruction. Xerath calls down a blast of arcane energy, dealing magic damage to all enemies within the target area, slowing them by a percent for 2.5 seconds. Enemies in the center of the blast, however, take more, so it's pretty cool. Seems like it has a really long delay, though. But yeah, enemies in the center take more damage and are slowed harder, so it's pretty cool. I like it better than his old W by far. It seems like they might have to increase the time it takes, or decrease the time it takes for that to go off, though. It seems like it takes for fucking ever. Next up we have our E, which is Shocking Orb. Xerath fires an orb of raw magic. The first enemy hit takes takes magic damage and is stunned for basically between 0.75 and 2 seconds. The stun duration is based on the length. Stun duration lengthens based on how far the orb travels. So yeah, I like the kit so far. The kit's very interesting. You see there, you're really good at actually getting attackers off you now, because you can EW. Whereas before, like, you had no way if an attacker got on you as Xerath. I'd recommend maxing your Q first, because it's going to give you the most poke. Bam. So yeah, you can see the combo works very well now. Like, it flows pretty smoothly. I mean, again, these are bots, but that's the general idea of what you're going to want to do. Yeah, so far if I have one complaint, it's Eye of Destruction feels like it takes too long to go off. I like the area though. The area is really big. I think they might want to increase the size of this orb too, because it seems a little bit small. Like, if you watch here, right, like, it's kind of a small orb. I mean, not the actual area for the stun. The stun is fine. I think the actual, like, just the animation needs to be a little bit bigger. Because it seems like it's too small. Almost got our ultimate here. The new animations are pretty cool too. So we have our ultimate now, which is Rite of the Arcane. Xerath ascends to his true form, becoming rooted in place and gaining 3 arcane barrages. This magic artillery deals magic damage to all enemies hit. The root ends after 10 seconds when all shots have been fired, or when manually deactivated by issuing a movement command. If Xerath does not fire off a single arcane barrage, half the cooldown of the Rite of the Arcane is refunded. Pretty neat. I have one complaint. Why do I have to press R to fire them? Why can't I just click? If I have one complaint there, it's like, why did I have to press R? Like after I have R pressed, why can't I just click the area instead? The range seemed really long though. Like, look, much longer than his old ultimate. That is going to be awesome though. Um, though it kind of confuses me a little bit because not too long ago they were complaining about Jace being able to hit people from the Fog of War, and then you go and give Xerath all these abilities that can easily hit people from the Fog of War. Like if you look at these abilities, they have really long ranges. Like I'm really surprised that they chose to go the route they did. I mean, I know when he was initially released, he was supposed to be this epic artillery caster, but you know, again, they didn't like that Jace was pinging people from the Fog of War, and then you give Xerath an ultimate that has that kind of range, or his Q, which has that kind of range. I think Xerath is fairly strong now, though. I think he's definitely a viable pick. I didn't think he was an unviable pick before, though, to be honest. I think you'll see some nerfs to him, though. I think, in particular, you'll see his ranges get cut a bit. So, that's pretty much all I have to say about Xerath. The remake, like I said, is pretty good. Like, the animations are very nice, the sound effects are pretty nice. The actual abilities are good. I mean, like I said, I had a few little complaints, but nothing major that makes me want to hate the champion. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think I'm pretty much done talking for the most part about the Xerath remake. I'll probably just finish up this game because people sometimes like to watch it through, and I'll probably rant about other things, but it's, this ultimate's very interesting. It's kind of on a long cooldown. That makes sense though for what it does. I think if I were gonna max an ability next, it would probably be Eye of Destruction after Q. That'll let you have really easy wave clear. Oh, whoops. Bam. Really like this ultimate though. The ultimate pretty much guarantees you're gonna get kills. Oh, whoops. With some skills there. Again, keep in mind that Eye of Destruction does more damage if they're in the center, so. And no mana. Seems like he would be really mana hungry though to keep pushing lanes and stuff. So. I think one of the top items you're gonna want to get early is Chalice. Even with a blue buff, it seems like you're gonna go through mana really quickly. Seems like rushing Chalice into Grail wouldn't be bad, followed by like probably a Deathfire cap or something. Run away, little Rise, run away. I'm hoping to see more Xerath though now that he's probably going to be considered viable. Again, not that I didn't think he was viable before. Alright, I gotta keep in mind that you can't actually move while right of the arcaning. Whoops. I messed that up. I messed that up really bad. Yeah, movement click will actually kick you out of your right of the arcane, which I see a lot of people fucking up. Like myself right there. Oh, thought I killed it. Whoops. Yeah, I'm eating through mana so quickly though. So yeah, it definitely seems like Chalice is going to be a rough item. Because you're probably going to want to play a little bit like Ziggs, where you're bullying your lane opponent. It seems like the most optimal combo is going to be something like WEQ or EWQ. Because that way you can guarantee your Q will hit and like your W will hit. Or like in the case of WE, it guarantees your E's gonna hit for the stun. Another rank around ulti. But yeah, it seems like Xerath's gonna have really good wave clear and bullying capabilities. Which is good. And he does it at such a safe range too, is a great thing. But it's kind of why I think his ranges are gonna get a nerf. Once people actually start picking him up. Oh, whoops. I fucked up there. I could have killed Lux and I didn't. I didn't hold my Q, I just clicked and released. I'm finding a hard time, I'm having a hard time liking this E. The missile speed seems really damn slow too. Reevaluating it. Forever. Yeah, so like, watch the missile. It's so slow. It's so slow. It's slow and it seems really small. I actually don't know if I like this better than the old E. Because at least the old E you get to choose your target, whereas this one you don't. It's nice to see that the ult cooldown goes down a lot too when you level. Went from 126 odd seconds to 86 something. Mind you, I also have CDR, so that could be part of it, but. Bam. Screw you, Graves. Don't recommend doing a tactic like that. The only reason I got it off was the fact that bots are bots and they didn't stun me when I Arcano Pulse. Or Rites of the Arcane, rather, wow. So there's something interesting to note, although not necessarily in this skin. In the actual, like, base skin, I wonder if the new developer, Ghostcrawler, had a hand in the Xerath changes, or at least the animation part, because a lot of stuff is very reminiscent of World of Warcraft, I find. Like a lot of the arcane skills. Which, maybe just coincidence because he's an arcane mage, I don't know. But that's something I did notice, was a lot of the abilities seem very reminiscent of, you know, what you'd expect of a arcane mage in World of Warcraft. Maybe I'm just drawing lines of similarities because of Ghostcrawler being at Riot now, but it's another thing. People seem to have this hate on for Ghostcrawler. I never really understood it. Like, people gotta keep in mind, Ghostcrawler wasn't the final decision maker on every change that you hated in WoW. Honestly, he probably had very little hand in a lot of them. Now, am I gonna completely say he didn't fuck up sometimes? Yeah, but he also admit it sometimes when he fucked up. I believe he admitted it. And as far as the big thing that people seem to have a hate on for Ghostcrawler is fucking Warcraft PvP or PvP, and it's like, good luck ever balancing that. You can hate Ghostcrawler all you want, but good luck ever balancing that. Oh, that's not good. Oh, whoops. Fuck me. Bam. Oh, whoops. For some reason, Shyvana didn't keep going on me, though. Bots are funny like that. Alright, so we got things on Holy Grail. Next, I would probably go Rabadons. You may be noticing something, too, with the ranges on these abilities. The fact that you don't ever really have to be in a team fight. Like, let's for example say you got into a team fight over here at Baron. Because of your ranges, you can very safely like sit over here and get into the fight and be fine. I mean, you might have a little trouble with these shorter range abilities, but like you could sit over here and ult, you could Q in, And like that puts you in a very, very safe position. Like the AP carry that doesn't actually have to ever put himself in harm's way. Yeah. I went off on a tangent there about Ghostcrawler. Yeah. So like, a lot of people complain about PvP balance, and it's like, good luck ever balancing WoW PvP. WoW wasn't built with PvP in mind, and like, good luck ever trying to get it balanced. That's something people really don't like understand. Now, I will admit they did stupid stuff, but like, what company doesn't do stupid stuff, really? Like, I mean, Stampede bug at the start of Miss Pandaria. Yeah, they left it in for like half a season, and then they're like, oh, mid-season, let's change it. Because that's not going to screw anything up. But, I mean, for all we know, it wasn't actually a simple fix either. I do not agree with them changing it mid-season, however, because that just screwed up, like, everything. I mean, there goes all the comps that worked hard with the bug. Mind you, they shouldn't have been exploiting a bug, but... But then it completely fucked up their teams because of the fact that, you know, they did such a drastic change so so deep into the season. I think they could have went about it better. I mean, if anything, they really, like, I would have just disabled it when the bug became apparent because it was so breaking. I mean, yeah, unfortunately it means you lose out on Stampede, but it's obviously causing too many problems since, like, you don't get that issue of people, of getting it, like, changed mid-season and causing problems. I mean, it's not like Hunters were in a good DPS spot PvE was at the start of Pandaria anyways, so it wouldn't have really hurt it, I don't think. But I definitely think they didn't handle that rightly. But I mean, I don't think Ghostcrawler had full hand in that. I think you could point fingers at other people too. I think the only reason he got fingers pointed at him is because he's one of the few faces at Blizzard, or was one of the few faces at Blizzard, that was constantly out actually talking with people and interacting with the community. I mean, it's just like here at Riot, you see very few specific rioters that always get the hate, mostly because they're the ones that actually interact with the community. I mean, I will say I do have a lot of what the fuck moments about Riot's design changes. There are a lot I just don't understand. They just don't seem to make sense to me. I mean, a good example is their way to nerf Ziggs. Doesn't actually hurt him in any way, really. They're very minor changes at best. I mean, the big things they do is they just hurt his pushing power. but I mean, other changes I don't understand at Riot either. In particular, I'm going to be making a video about after this one is the Skarner changes. To me, they're just a big can of what the fuck were you thinking, Riot? They don't actually solve any of Skarner's problems. In fact, I think they actually create more than they solve, but it's just me. God, I'm so bad with this E. Damn. Yeah, I just... Some of Riot's design decisions confuse me. Some of them I really like Vel'Koz. Though everyone seems to have a hate on for him, I don't understand it. I think they did really good. It's nice to have a really unique looking champion finally. We've had so many just generic humanoids. Like, here's generic gunslinger. Here's generic samurai. Here's generic. He's Lord of the Generics. Like, they haven't really had, in my opinion, any really unique design champions in a while. Kha'Zix, I honestly would put as their last really unique character that I liked. I'm curious when we're gonna get the dragon too. He seemed pretty chill. Pretty cool. Oh, bots. I like how you're just running past as I kill your Nexus. Oh no, they've grown sentient. Oh, Leon escaped my wrath. Anyways, this has been my first impressions of Xerath. As a closing note, I recommend Xerath now. He's pretty good. Like, really, really good. I think he'll have a slightly high, well, I wouldn't say slightly high. I'd say he has a little bit higher than your average AP skill cap because you gotta get used to comboing correctly, as well as taking advantage of the fact that you don't ever really have to enter a lane to gank a lane. If that makes sense. Anyways, I will see you all next time. Peace out.